At the beginning of the movie, a man named Freddy rehearses a speech for an upcoming date. Freddy is quite shy, and his slightly pathological uncertainty is evident even during the preparation for the date. A girl arrives, and Freddy initiates a conversation with her, subtly unsettling her with his peculiar behavior. In the dialogue, he mentions that he has been on a dating site for over 5 years, discouraging the girl, and she's like,
5 years? Wow, that's a long time.
In 5 years, you haven't found anyone?
I found a few girls,
And?
but we just didn't match.
Startled by the guy's strange behavior, the girl hastily leaves, citing an urgent meeting with a client. In the evening, Freddy recounts how the date went to his only friend, a turtle named Hardy, while painting model airplanes. His aunt, who cares for him like a little child, calls him, inquiring about his well-being.
Did you eat?
Yes, auntie.
What did you eat there?
Pizza.
What topping?
Chicken peri peri and jalapeno.
Now stop painting those model planes of yours and go to sleep.
She has raised him as her own son and eagerly awaits the day when Freddy will start his own family. Observing from his window, Freddy envies a young couple passionately kissing in his yard. Upon noticing him, the couple leaves, labeling their neighbor a voyeur. The next morning, Freddy goes to work. He is a well-known dentist in the city, successful in his field. Then again, he spends his evening painting models. At this moment, a girl calls him with her number hidden. She found Freddy's number on a dating site and liked his profile. The girl asks when his photo was made. Excited, Freddy quickly tries to prove that the photo is recent.
No, it's a recent picture. I had it clicked a month ago at Sri Ganesh Studio.
You can check from there. I'll give you the number. It's 98208.
No, it's okay. I believe you.
He sets up a date with her at the same cafe. On the following day, eagerly awaiting the date, Freddy rehearses his speech, despite an hour passing from the appointed time. He orders one milkshake after another. Even the waitstaff sympathizes with him.
How long has he been trying? I've been watching him regularly for 3 years. He was a regular before that.
Finally, he heads toward the exit, overhearing mockery from the youngsters who amused themselves outside his window the night before. They quote his phrase about the Sri Ganesh studio.
I had clicked at Sri Ganesh Photo Studio yesterday. You can check. I have their number.
Freddy realizes that they were simply mocking him for fun. After some time, Freddy attends a wedding of his acquaintance with his second aunt. The aunt worries that she and her sister are too old and they may never see their nephew get married. The aunt points out a beauty in the hall and says that she constantly glances at Freddy. Encouraged, he decides to strike up a dialogue with her, but the result is pretty awkward.
Yes?
Sorry?
You were looking at me. Have we ever met?
I'm Freddy. Freddy Jin.
I'm sorry.
But I wasn't looking at you.
No, you were.
But remember, I was sitting over there.
Next to that aunt with the raspberry soda.
The talking is interrupted by the jealous husband of the girl who aggressively puts Freddy in his place and escorts his wife away from the wedding.
You lied to me, didn't you?
Would you have talked to her otherwise?
That night, Freddy dreams of the girl. The next morning at work, he still can't get her out of his mind. Coincidentally, she comes to his office recommended by a friend. Her name is Kainaz. She apologizes for her husband's behavior at the wedding and complains about her wisdom tooth. After an examination, Freddy advises her to get an X-ray and come for the tooth extraction tomorrow. Before leaving, she notices a photo of his late mother on the table. She was a renowned cellist. Kainaz confesses that Freddy's mother inspired her to take up the cello.
Her beauty, her music.
She inspired me to learn the cello.
However, after her wedding, she had to give up her passion. Freddy daydreams envisioning a happy marriage with Kainaz, raising a wonderful daughter. The next morning, Kainaz comes in for the tooth extraction. Freddy informs her that the procedure will be under general anesthesia instead of local, which slightly alarms her. While Kainaz is under the influence of anesthesia, Freddy orders his assistant to go for a short break. Alone with the patient, he leans obsessively toward her lips and then says,
I love you.
After the operation, Freddy informs Kainaz that the procedure was successful. He then prescribes her medication, checking beforehand that she has allergies to detergents. As she leaves, he takes a photo of Kainaz's address and later arrives at her house in the evening. She goes up to her apartment, where her jealous husband starts berating her. The abuser beats her because she didn't cook dinner, and he had to go hungry all day. Freddy witnesses this scene but hesitates to intervene. Even though Freddy wants to intervene, he realizes that he can't explain explain his presence over there, so he goes back to the car. Disturbed by what he witnessed, Freddy has nightmares about traumatic childhood memories. From these flashbacks, we learn that his father was jealous of his mother and shot her in front of young Freddy. Then, he performed an action that YouTube might age-restrict the video for. Freddy was left an orphan. The next day, Kainaz doesn't show up for her appointment, and Freddy, overwhelmed with concern for her, is unable to take clients. He calls the patient and asks why she missed the appointment. She avoids answering directly, saying,
I can't come, doctor.
But I need to check your extraction. It's very important.
Then I'll come over to you. A home visit is also possible. Do not worry.
No, doctor, you can't come here. My husband won't like it.
How about someplace close? You just have to come over for 5 minutes. The infection can spread rapidly.
Please, I insist.
He asks his secretary to cancel all appointments and goes to the park to meet Kainaz. Noticing bruises on her face, he presses her for the truth. She reveals that she lives under constant abuse from her jealous husband.
Why did he hit you?
He doesn't like it when I hang out with friends.
But he's a good man.
What does he do?
He owns a restaurant. Light of Persia.
Freddy decides to change his image. He buys a bunch of new clothes and swaps his glasses for bolder ones. With these almost unnoticed changes, he starts calling Kainaz with requests to meet. Kainaz gives in, and they eventually begin to spend more and more time together secretly from her husband. During an evening chat with his aunt, he shares that he's dating an amazing girl named Kainaz and intends to marry her. At some point at a cinema, Freddy finally gathers the courage to kiss Kainaz. She freezes like a statue, confusing him. However, she then passionately embraces Freddy. Realizing what she's done, Kainaz abruptly leaves in the middle of the screening. For several days, Freddy can't get through to Kainaz. Finally, he decides to visit her at home. Kainaz, covered in bruises and cuts, meets him at the door. He proposes marriage to her. She reminds him that she's already married, but everything would be different if she were free. In the evening, he reflects on his recent dialogue with Kainaz. His aunt calls asking about his girlfriend and when to expect the wedding. Freddy enthusiastically responds.
Next month.
The next morning, he calls Kainaz and arranges a meeting. He devises a freaking genius plan as a Swiss freaking watch to kill her husband.
That's a great plan. That's f***ing ingenious if I understand it correctly. It's a Swiss f***ing watch.
That's right, dude.
She's frightened by such plans, but Freddy proposes that she decides whether she's ready to endure the abuse for the rest of her days or accept his proposal, allowing them to live a long and happy life together. He reassures her and suggests cutting off contact for a week while he takes care of everything, after which he'll reach out. Over the next few days, Freddy meticulously plans his strategy, studying her husband's routine and exploring the surroundings. With the support of his old trusty Beretta, he sets out to execute the plan. Fortunately, Freddy manages to handle it without his Beretta, repeatedly running over the abuser with his car. Afterward, he spends a week in the village at his family estate. He sends his car for repairs to an old acquaintance and instructs the butler to announce to everyone that he'll stay there for 7 days, offering free checkups to local residents. He then starts dancing, envisioning his life with Kainaz. And yes, did I mention this is an Indian film? So don't be surprised by the people dancing. Meanwhile in the city, the police unsuccessfully try to find any leads regarding the man's death. However, there are no cameras in this area, and witnesses are scarce. The officer wants to close the case as an accident, but the department head asks to hold off on that decision. After a week of volunteering, Freddy returns to the city. After buying some apples, he heads to his beloved's home. However, at the doorstep, he is greeted by a young man with a familiar face. It turns out that Kainaz and her lover had long planned to get rid of her husband, manipulating Freddy into doing the job for them. Freddy recognizes the guy as a chef from the restaurant where he arranged dates for the girls for 5 consecutive years. To keep the dentist in check, they show photos of him under Kainaz's windows. They threaten to tell the police about the persistent suitor who's been stalking her if he doesn't vanish from their lives, and the police will surely figure out who killed her husband. Raymond beats him up, and Kainaz adds a couple of hurtful phrases.
Each time you touched me, I wanted to throw up. I would feel disgusted.
In a state of deep shock, Freddy returns home. He burns all the clothes he bought for dates with Kainaz. Meanwhile, the lovebirds plan how to continue the business that Kainaz inherited from her late husband.
It took me 2 years and several beatings, but at last, Light of Persia is mine. I want to turn the Light of Persia into a boutique restaurant.
The girl gets down to implementing her plans. Freddy visits his aunt, and during a heart-to-heart talk, he reveals that he has broken up with his fiancée. His aunt advises him not to give up and suggests talking to her, unaware that her nephew is entangled with her in criminal affairs. These words motivate Freddy, and he heads to her restaurant. Ordering a milkshake, he gulps it down in one go, never taking his gaze off Kanaz and Raymond. Then he orders 3 more cocktails.
Repeat.
And drinks them consecutively. Raymond spits in another drink and serves it to the guest, but that doesn't stop Freddy. His actions disgust Raymond, who reminds Freddy of the photos proving that he was stalking Kanaz. Freddy promises to leave their lives forever if she just apologizes to him. This angers the lovers, and Raymond beats up Freddy.
If you don't stop this psycho behavior, we'll give this to the police. You understand?
Filled with a desire for revenge, Freddy, with his inherent meticulousness, devises a detailed plan of retribution. He immediately sets about executing it. Waiting for the couple to go about their business, Freddy infiltrates their apartment by hiring a lockpicker. He adds a sedative to their food and pours detergent into the face wash gel. Then he takes away all the allergy medications. The couple suddenly returns, forcing the dentist to hide on the ledge. While the lovers indulge in carnal pleasures in the bathroom, Freddy takes the opportunity to leave their dwelling. Kanaz and Raymond sit down to dine. In the evening, while they sleep under the influence of the drug, Freddy again sneaks into the apartment and erases all evidence from the girl's phone. To compromise her, he sends himself a threatening message from Kanaz's account, stating that they are going to kill him if he tells the police that they took his car. Then he approaches Raymond and returns all the slaps he received. After that, he pours brake fluid from their car. Then Freddy returns and lies down between them. Before dawn, Kanaz wakes up and discovers allergic redness on her skin. Her scream wakes up Raymond. Unable to find anti-allergic tablets, the girl urgently asks him to take her to the hospital. Due to the non-functioning brakes, they get into an accident. Fortunately, no one is seriously injured in the crash, and the ambulance manages to save the girl from suffocation. She blames Raymond for the accident.
I could have died.
Kanaz, I didn't do it on purpose. The brakes were fine when we came home.
In the morning, Kanaz gets a call by the sanitary inspector who says that he is closing their restaurant because a customer found a lizard in a dish and posted a photo on social media. They arrive at the restaurant and try to figure out what happened. Meanwhile, Freddy sneaks into their home again and from Raymond's laptop posts intimate photos of them on his Facebook page. Enraged, the girl lets loose at Raymond, fearing that now everyone will judge her for her whorish life immediately after her husband's death. The guy assures her that he didn't do it. They realize that all of this is not coincidental. The girl asks the waiter about the appearance of the visitor, but he claims not to have remembered him because the client covered his face, lowering his cap. They head to his house. Freddy is already prepared for their visit. He calls the police upon seeing the couple beneath his window. The lovebirds break into the dentist's apartment, and as usual, Raymond beats up Freddy. However, the police interrupt them. Fearing they could be caught, Kanaz and Raymond decide to spill everything to the police. Kanaz opens the door and tells the police that Freddy killed her husband and stalked her like a true psycho.
He would park his car outside my house night and day and sit there. He used to stalk me, and when I ignored him, he murdered my husband. He snuck into my house and put dishwasher in my face wash. He knows I'm allergic to it. He also stole my anti-allergy pills. Sir, I could have died.
The police know Freddy as an upright doctor and ask the girl to provide any evidence, but there are no traces on her phone.
Let me guess. Maybe when you were asleep at home, Dr. Jean Wallace snuck into your home and deleted all the photos and messages.
Exactly, sir.
Then the officer warns them to stay away from Freddy. Otherwise, they'll find themselves in trouble, even though Freddy himself refused to file a complaint against them. Back home, Kanaz says she wants to revenge Freddy for hurting her pride.
Babe, if we do anything now, the police will suspect us.
Next, you'll say we should apologize to him?
Do something. You call yourself a man, no?
A few days later, Freddy confides in his aunt again. Seeing her nephew downcast, the aunt advises him to forget about this girl and move on. He returns home and sees a bullet on the doorstep. Entering, he finds a big mess created by Raymond. Freddy calls him and says he received their message. To stir things up a bit in retaliation, he lies that he threw a poisonous snake to them. Panicking, Kanaz asks Raymond to find the reptile. Unable to find the snake, they decide not to risk it and spend the the night in a hotel. The couple realizes that the dentist didn't notice the absence of his turtle. Kainaz calls Freddy and tells him they kidnapped Hardy and turned him into soup. Shocked, he rushes to check the surveillance footage to make sure they're not bluffing. After confirming, he buries all the belongings of his only friend in his yard. He goes to the street where Kainaz's husband was hit and bribes a homeless man to report to the police how he witnessed a car hitting the man right in front of him. The homeless man goes to the police station and provides Freddy's car's license plate number. Meanwhile, at Kainaz's home, specialists install surveillance cameras for extra security. The police visit the dentist's clinic. Freddy skillfully plays the victim, saying that Raymond took his car. He also states that he realized they were involved in Kainaz's husband's death and was going to report it to the police, but the couple threatened him. To support his version, he shows the message he sent to himself from Kainaz's phone. He also provides the surveillance footage of them breaking into his house and taking the turtle, leaving a bullet as a sign on the doorstep. The police call Kainaz and ask her to come to the station to give a statement. Following that, Freddy calls them and says the police suspect them of murder. He tells them about the message that confirms they took his car. He wants Kainaz to apologize, and then this nightmare will end for them. Freddy arranges a meeting at his countryside estate. His only request is to bring a suitcase.
And yeah, bring a suitcase.
Why suitcase?
I have to get some of Mum's stuff from the farmhouse, and I forgot to get a suitcase.
They arrive at the meeting point where Freddy greets them with a stone-cold face. They notice Freddy brought a Beretta, which undoubtedly scares the couple. Kainaz starts apologizing while simultaneously approaching the gun. With the Beretta in her hands, she mocks Freddy and his father, who dealt with his wife and himself. She pulls the trigger and realizes the gun is not loaded. Raymond unsuccessfully tries to strangle Freddy, but he shocks both of them with a stun gun. They regain consciousness tied to dental chairs with gags in their mouths. Freddy describes how teeth used to be extracted without anesthesia. By the way, I'll add for myself that it's quite painful. I remember the feeling when I had a molar tooth taken out without anesthesia. Freddy says he knows how turtles are prepared. They are dissected alive to release pheromones, giving the soup aphrodisiac qualities. He realizes Hardy suffered before death. Kainaz says it was Raymond's plan with the turtle, and he executed it, which made Raymond wet himself out of fear, if you excuse me for such a detail. Meanwhile, the police, not waiting for Kainaz and Raymond, head to their home, where they find footage from the recently installed cameras showing them hastily leaving the apartment with a suitcase. They understand that the couple got scared of punishment and went on the run. The police declare them wanted, which suits Freddy perfectly. Freddy says he'll let them go if Kainaz shows how she can play the cello.
My mom inspired you to learn to play it, didn't she? Come on, play nicely, and I'll let you both go.
Obviously, the girl doesn't even know how to hold the instrument correctly. Freddy restrains her back to the chair and slowly but methodically removes all her teeth without anesthesia. Then he performs the same procedure on Raymond. He puts the helpless patients in pits and buries them alive, confessing to Kainaz that he still loves her. After that, he lies down between their graves just as he lay on their bed in the middle of the film. How do you find the movie, friends? Write in the comments how you would have acted in the protagonist's place. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss new videos.